Okay, this is a bit of a different one. In Los Angeles, something wacky happened. 2 skyscrapers that were under construction got mega tagged. I looked at this briefly on stream, but since then a lot has happened. By mega tagged, I mean this. This is like an insanely coordinated tagging operation. Now, the first thing that I need to say, I guess, like on principle, I have to indicate, is that this looks dope as hell. This was like some base jumping parachute bungee cord. This is an extraordinary amount of effort, and that also looks very cool. I would also go so far as to say, if I may, that this is, while certainly inconvenient to people who want to use these windows, a massive improvement to the appearance of these skyscrapers, you know? Like, I think it would look better if more buildings were like this. It kind of sucks that Los Angeles, which has such a unique and thriving, like, I guess, urban culture, both in terms of, like, you know, graffiti and hip-hop and streetwear. Just there's so much going on in Los Angeles that's interesting. Yeah, over all of it, just a bunch of ugly glass and steel towers, you know? You can see they're under construction. The scaffolding is up here at the top. There are some people in chat saying that these buildings were left unfinished. Is that true? We'll find out if that's true because I have other videos.
On Sunday, the music world's greatest will gather in Los Angeles for the Grammy Awards. And just around the corner is this high-rise, a building that was supposed to revitalize the neighborhood. It was never finished.
High-rises never revitalize neighborhoods, ever. No, I have been to downtown LA. That is not true. The taller a building is, the less likely it is, because more and more of the people who live in that building live too far from the sidewalk for it to be like a part of their urban experience. There's a reason why the most walked about areas in cities are very rarely the ones that are towered over by monolithic skyscrapers, but usually like mixed development high rises that are like 4 to 5 stories, if that, you know? Not to mention, what were these apartments going to cost? Revitalize the neighborhood.
And now Jim Murray reports it's an eyesore.
This is not what a fancy high-rise is supposed to be.
Fancy high-rise. Yeah, f you right off the bat. Revitalize the neighborhood, by which you actually mean here are some more $4,500 a month apartments that have been ruined by like something actually looking good. Sorry, it looks dope. I know it's inconvenient as windows go, but like it looks dope as hell. I'm sorry. You know, f you. And you're racist. F you guys. F all of you.
Look like floor after floor of eye-popping graffiti. It's a
eye-popping. Oh yeah, dude. Dude, if you don't want to live in LA, get the f out of LA, okay? So I'm sorry. Like, I apologize that not all of Los Angeles can be made to conform to the biases and prejudices of your Bel Air hillside mansion or wherever the you saltines live. But if you go to actual LA where culture is born, these people don't consume LA culture. The only LA culture these people consume is the like drip feed shit that gets so gentrified they're capable of consuming it. You're watering down the mother like seasoned ass street tacos, all right? These people can't I hate these people so much.
It's a shocking sight.
Shocking.
Each balcony covered in brightly colored lettering, 27 floors in all. In the world of graffiti, it's called tagging, but perhaps never
you can tell exactly who this is for, by the way.
Before has it happened in such a bold and dramatic way.
These are the buildings, part of a $1 billion project in downtown Los Angeles that has sat unfinished since 2019.
Oh, then f them. That's it? COVID happened and they just gave up? They just dropped the then whatever. You. Do you know it's gonna cost hundreds of millions of dollars to finish construction or demolish these buildings, and you're whining about having to clean the windows? Like, oh no, in addition to all of the work that is yet to be done, we also have to do this. You would have had to clean the windows anyway, or replace the glass. You. This blight, urban blight. How dare these hoodlums, these hooligans, add culture and unique visual elements to urban blight, to rot that's been sitting here for 5 years. Oh my God, these people are like everything wrong with LA.
It was supposed to be 40 stories of luxury condos.
Fuck you.
The buildings sit in the shadow of the crypto arena.
Yeah, by the way, Los Angeles, baby, they bought this out. This was the Staples Center. It got bought out by Crypto.com. That's right. At the height of the crypto boom, it got the whole stadium name rights got bought out by Crypto.com, and it got called the Crypto.com Arena. Not Crypto Arena, Crypto.com calm arena, which now from your $5 billion a second penthouse apartment, you get to look down upon in all of its glory.
The Grammys will be held on Sunday.
While we were there, we saw this guy jump the fence. It's not only illegal, it's also dangerous. The balconies have makeshift railings. One false move could potentially end in disaster. The Los Angeles Police Department says it's worth.
You have no problem with the lack of safety. If the police came and gunned these people down, you wouldn't give a single shit. If the LAPD showed up and killed all of the people who did this tagging, you would be like, oh, we're cleaning up the streets. You don't give a about their safety. The only safety concern you have is that their bodies would leave a splat when they hit the ground, and it would be like an eyesore to you or something. I hate these people.
To secure the building, and that the graffiti would be removed.
Why? The building is sitting empty.
Now at 3:30, street art or an eyesore? City leaders are taking
street art, objectively.
Action to prevent taggers from targeting a vacant luxury high-rise in downtown Los Angeles.
I like how, again, I listen to the way they launder this. They keep calling it like
vacant luxury high-rise in downtown.
Vacant. It's not vacant. It's unfinished. It's been abandoned, right? We're talking about abandoned buildings. It's not just vacant. What leaves a building vacant, right? No building just gets left vacant for no reason. That's money being left on the table.
Downtown Los Angeles. Police have made at least 2 arrests, but the graffiti has not stopped.
KTLA5's Rachel Minitoff is in downtown LA with details on the effort.
How dare people who actually live in Los Angeles and breathe in the culture of its streets, how dare they, I don't know, try to beautify this urban blight, this billion-dollar rot that would have contributed to the decay of downtown Los Angeles by further gentrifying it and pushing out the people who actually make the culture in the city out into the outskirts of like East LA or whatever, further and further and further out from the city core until it just ends up like completely unlivable, you know, for anyone who doesn't have a job in like Hollywood or a tech job or whatever. What's the problem with luxury high-rises? Skyscrapers in general are bad, but like luxury high-rise, if you knew what was going on in downtown Los Angeles, the rent that people have to pay, the amount of gentrification, the damage that's being done, and by the way, everyone is being hurt by it. This is the, busting out my calipers, this is the degenerate skull shape of the wealthy Los Angelian, okay? What they don't understand is, like every other gentrifying downtown dipshit over there doesn't understand, is they moved to LA for the culture that they're pricing out. This isn't just like a general, oh, people move where it's economically favorable. This project, what the city allows to be built through its zoning, this high rise, all the people there, they don't, guys, rich people don't live in downtown so they can be around other cultureless, dipshit, socially malnourished, pedophile rich people. That's not why they do it. They do it because these downtown like centers have rich, unique tapestries of local culture that are predominantly the product of the poor underclass there, in a racial sense in many cases, especially in Los Angeles. So when they move there, they raise the price, they displace. To be clear, by the way, my main issue is not with the wealthy people who might take those high rises. If that high rise was completed, if those rent prices went up there, people are going to move there if they can afford to. That's how it works. That is like, it's renters and condo owners are like water, you know, they flow to fill the space that they're allowed. What I take issue with is the space. The city and the construction company and the investors who work together to allow this to happen, you know? That's the real issue that I have. And now, having allowed this to happen, it went tits up. These buildings are unfinished, vacant blights. And now they're the first time. This is the first time I've even hearing about this. This is the first time I'm hearing about this. Like, I moved out of LA long before these buildings got abandoned. I didn't hear about the big scandal of $1 billion rotting in downtown, you know, just sitting there, squatting there like useless nothing, taking up land and choking the air with their monolithic worthlessness. But I am hearing about people making them more beautiful to no one's harm. That's how I get to hear about this. That's when this whole thing gets brought to me. They were abandoned because they were deemed uninhabitable. Really? I would like to see that. My assumption was that this was like a COVID-19 like funding thing. I'm looking at a Reddit thread, and there's a place saying that there was a corrupt city councilman who got arrested or something. I don't know what. Jose Huizar? Is this it? Corruption case? Former Los Angeles City Councilman Jose Huizar was sentenced Friday to 13 years in prison for his role in sprawling set of criminal schemes that involved cash payouts, casino chips, Las Vegas, and bribes from developers seeking to build glittering downtown high-rises. Is it these? He headed the Planning and Land Use Management Committee, served as a critical gatekeeper for large-scale development projects across the city. Huizar wielded enormous power. One proposed later abandoned was a 77-story hotel power plant on Figueroa Street, 20-story residential building for Olympic Boulevard. A fourth was a 35-story tower now under construction in the Arts District. Even if a city doesn't strictly need more luxury high-rises, wouldn't an increase in housing stock for the wealthy allow them to densify in the downtown, leave their previous dwellings in the market? Yeah, but poor people can't occupy their previous dwellings. No, it doesn't work that way. Giving wealthy people more luxury condos to, like, look out over the city has literally never fixed any housing problems at all. You need public housing, or at the very least, like, low-income housing. Everyone's just greedily chasing the bag with the expensive, like, easy tenants to rent to. That's it. It's just greed. It's not socially beneficial. It's literally just like fighting over it's a zero-sum game, fighting over like the wealthiest possible tenants. Okay, this guy did a lot of shit. Here we go. Oceanwide Plaza, partially completed residential and retail complex composed of 3 towers in downtown Los Angeles, across the street from Crypto.com Arena. That's grim. The towers have no completion date. It is unknown when the complex will open as the development process is beset by corruption charges and financing problems related to ongoing geopolitical tensions between US and China. Tower 1 will feature a 184-room 5-star Park Hyatt hotel and 164 Park Hyatt service condo residences, a live-in hotel option. Oh, that'll help downtown LA. This is what downtown LA needs, a 5-star hotel high-rise and live-in hotel options. That's great. So, you know, so more like business class middlemen can come over and squat downtown. The developer, Beijing-based Oceanwide Holdings. The site was a vacant parking lot. Nice. Classic LA business. Constructed in April 2018. In January 2019, interior construction of the project was put on hold. The developer cited restructuring of capital and indicated work in the plaza would resume shortly. Contractor Lendlease suspended work. Until late March 2019 was announced construction is resumed by the subcontractors. Work again stopped in late 2019. Unpaid work and pending lawsuits. The towers were an example of Chinese reductions in capital and investing in U.S. real estate because of the country's ongoing trade dispute with the U.S. and a Beijing crackdown on credit and capital flight. In July 2018, the FBI served a search warrant on Google under money laundering and bribery charges. The warrant asked for information contained in a Gmail account belonging to Raymond Chan, former head of the LA Department of Building and Safety. Chan left that position in 2016. Oh, there's Jose Huizar, who we looked at prior. They owe hundreds of millions of dollars. China Oceanwide said more than 1.2 billion was needed to finish the project and that they had already spent 1.1 billion. Sorry guys, don't you know? 1.2 billion needed to finish the project is one thing, but the 1.2000001 billion that would be required to finish it and to clean up the graffiti is just too much. Time for us to spend millions on policing efforts.
To stop the tagging.
I hate them, 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 I hate them.
Introducing a motion today asking the city to clean up this longtime vacancy and the sidewalks and streets around it. He says if the developer doesn't respond, the city will take action and send them the bill. He is, of course, referring to the infamous Oceanside Plaza on South Figueroa and West 11th Street, which has become a destination spot for graffiti artists. Some 27 stories of this dormant downtown LA skyscraper tagged with graffiti.
Dormant, vacant. They'll use any words but abandoned and unfinished. They keep talking as though like it was going to open up tomorrow or something.
A safety concern for Teresa Y. Hillary, who has lived downtown for 20 years.
I was very excited when they first came up, very excited about what it would mean to South Park. But then when
nothing good.
When south, it's just been an eyesore. The city should secure it.
It looks better
in there, and somebody's going to hurt themselves.
It's unclear exactly how those responsible for the graffiti gained entry to the site or
fucking stiff lip upper white claw. Yeah, rich white lady.
The South Park, because you have people going in there and somebody's going to hurt themselves.
It's unclear exactly how those responsible for the graffiti gained entry to the site or when they began their daring and illegal project. But witnesses say they've been blasting the building with spray paint for the last week, a problem the city is now taking stock of.
It's not a problem.
LA has already served the property owners in order to comply.
During a press conference Friday, council member Kevin DeLeon said the city has issued an abatement order to the U.S. holding company for the bankrupt Beijing-based developer Oceanside Holdings, demanding they secure and clean.
LA budget crisis? Damn, that's crazy. If only LA didn't consistently make the most retarded decisions for how to lay out its town imaginable, you know? If only. Guys, I wonder if making an entire, like, mega county, like, larger than almost any other urban area on Earth, entirely car-dependent, having 90% of it not be zoned for more than 2 stories, completely centering commercial districts so people have to drive a bunch, so the city has to maintain, like, 5 trillion miles of road every year, and I don't know, allowing rich, precious downtown real estate to be taken up by worthless investments and construction that, even if this hadn't gone tits up, still would have been an urban blight because it would have further increased the cost of living downtown and driven away the vast majority of the residents of downtown, which are the people who actually pay the vast majority of taxes.
The place. He promised to slap a few liens on the property too. The building, located across from Crypto.com Arena, was at one time the largest real estate project in the city, estimated at $1 billion. But the owners reportedly ran out of money in 2019 and never finished the project, leaving it an eyesore to many residents like David Dapper.
And I think ultimately the city's going to have to step in and deal with this problem that I see every morning out my living room window when I get up.
LAPD was able
Is he referring to the skyscraper or the tagging? The tagging looks nice. It's good tagging.
To arrest 2 people for trespassing, but they're soon released and seem to come right back.
It's a form of expression. It's just a form of releasing your stress. So it beautifies whatever empty wall you see out on the street.
Renee Hoyer.
Yeah, good base. Thank you. Yeah.
A local photographer says he sees the artistry on display, but also recognizes the dangerous maneuvers people are taking in the name of their craft.
In this case, climbing up all the way to the top, these guys are going around there with no harness, with no safety equipment, so they could injure themselves, and you could end up, someone being killed.
DeLeon is giving the owner until mid-February.
I believe that guy when he says it's a safety issue. The other guy, the last one, that guy just doesn't want blood on his sidewalk. That photographer, though, I believe him when he says he doesn't want people getting hurt.
February to respond. He said it would be ideal for a new developer to purchase the property, and he says there has been some interest given the property's prime location and potential. Reporting downtown, I'm Rachel Menata.
Demolish it, please. Tear it down and build anew. I beg of you. What's the name of this? Ocean-wide Plaza, right? You just had it opened on Wikipedia. Yeah, but have you considered that I'm stupid? Have you? I don't think you have. Just to be clear, when we talk about this prime real estate and the blight in Los Angeles, this is what we're talking about. Okay? This is what we're talking about. Even here in the core of Los Angeles, in downtown, this is what we're talking about. This is the rich urban core, and this is the revitalization of the neighborhood, which is, yes, called South Park. Look at all that beauty. Kind of ugly. Oh, what are you talking about, kind of ugly? Look, it's downright Parisian. Look, they made one tiny little section of it out of brick. Oh, I love this pedestrian-friendly. Oh, yeah, here you go. Here's the pedestrian path. So you're safe from plummeting to your death to this little rail station right there. That's cool. Look at all this. Look at this. You know, looking at it, you would almost be mistaken for not thinking that it's one of the largest and wealthiest cities on the planet. And this is, again, look at this. Isn't it disgusting? Look at how it looks. Like, just leaving aside the infrastructure or whatever, like, I mean, in terms of design, look at, it's just repugnant. Even the parts of it that aren't a parking lot feel like a parking lot. Here's another parking lot. But don't worry, guys, it's not all parking lots. Look at this wonderful, walkable, extremely interesting, apartment plaza right here, whatever. Ah, yes. I love downtown LA. Look at all this 6-lane road. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. More public parking. Yeah. Oh, what is that? What, is that art? No, 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 no. Take it down. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. This was probably made with the permission of the landowner, but if it wasn't, they should destroy it immediately. This ruins the entire character of the neighborhood. Ugh. Guys, again, you need to understand. Downtown Los Angeles. This is downtown. Look at all the people on the sidewalks. So sterile? No, it's not sterile at all. Everything is choked with gasoline fumes. It's like this everywhere. As a European, this looks like hell. Yeah, well, it's what I grew up with. All right. They're using helicopters to protect the buildings. Yep. Citizen, stop trying to improve the look of this blighted neighborhood. We will fire! LA has a budgeting crisis, but they'll spend like $1 million a day protecting this one blighted structure from being made to look better. Honest question, where are the stores? Shouldn't cities have a new store every 10 steps? Nope. Because there's no such thing as walking in LA. A store in an area means you need to have a giant parking lot for that area. So you'd better be willing to front the capital for that. You know, what's the point of making a shopping district that doesn't have like 600,000 parking spaces connected directly to it so people can access it? Why live in the city then? Well, if the city is LA, the answer is don't. That's my recommendation. What is the best planned US city? Well, good cities aren't really planned. I mean, I like the DC Mall. And maybe I'm misunderstanding, but it sounds like you might advocate for height limits in residential buildings. Yeah, skyscrapers aren't good. Generally, they're just not good. They get more and more expensive with every floor you build. If you wanted more density in the construction, hold on. If you wanted more density in Los Angeles, if you wanted the ability to like fit more people into this county that already has 5 trillion people in it, okay? Then behold a photo of Los Angeles as taken from the Griffith Park Observatory. Now I ask you, does this skyline suggest to you that what we really need is more skyscrapers? Do we think perhaps there are other things we could do to increase density in a city that is like significantly made up of single-family housing? By the way, what you're looking at right now is through a telephoto lens. Do you want to see what it actually looks like when you're standing there on the Griffith Observatory? This is it. This is the view that I got as a Los Angelian. The skyscrapers of downtown are just tiny pinpricks in the distance, lost in a ocean of single and double-story buildings. It's an almost unimaginably large city. Oh yeah, good luck seeing the stars, by the way. Like this. You'll notice that a bunch of photos of the Griffith Park Observatory are using camera tricks in order to make the background appear closer than it really is. I know there's a way of doing it in camera. I don't know the details, whatever. Camera tricks. But in reality, it doesn't look anything like that. Even this image right here doesn't appear the way our eyes perceive it. See? Downtown is nowhere near that close. LA is huge. And Los Angeles' downtown has been gutted out for decades and decades now, raped to death by developers and investors who all want to fight over, you know, luxury condominiums and apartments because the, you know, they all want to fight over the richest, best tenants. Wouldn't East Coast cities have a bit more potential? Yes, East Coast cities tend to be better. LA is uniquely bad. I know I would like Pittsburgh. That's enough grim reflection on the nature of Los Angeles for the stream, I think. It didn't used to be bad. Well, things have always been at least somewhat bad. But in this specific respect, LA has been getting worse. The LAPD has... Oh my god. The LAPD has assigned detectives to investigate trespassing. Detectives. They're sending detectives. Gonna get Columbo on this shit. Jesus Christ. Detectives. Just one more thing. Yeah. Is this for the chilling effect? This is because, generally speaking, all the LAPD exists to do is hassle black drivers. So every once in a while, when they see something on the news that gets their dicks hard, they want to be a part of it. So they'll deploy a fleet of helicopters and detectives because everyone's... Because they want an opportunity to be, like, you know, involved in it. This urbanist video is a good response to your point on the skyscrapers. The urbanist myth that just won't die. I'm not doing that's not what we're doing here. That's not the bit that we're doing. I don't think skyscrapers are always bad, and I don't think that buildings should stop being developed at 5 stories. For instance, I really like the way downtown DC looks, and that goes further than 5 stories for most of it. I think that downtown DC is quite beautiful. What is it, like 8, 9 stories? Something like that, I think? I don't know. But like, skyscrapers can sometimes be good, but this obsession with making everything 30, 40 stories, it's dumb. But skyscrapers aren't all bad. For example, Chicago's skyline is exquisite. Sorry, Chicago's skyline has to be one of the best in the world. Certainly the best in Los Angeles. New Yorkers stay coping. It is just phenomenal. And it looks pretty great. The difference, though, is that Chicago has much more rich downtown development than Los Angeles does, which allows it to sustain both skyscrapers and like a thriving urban, infrastructure at the ground level. Not the case for Los Angeles, at least not for downtown LA. Not to mention how Chicago looks from the river. Look at this. This is just goddamn beautiful. I mean, this is peak shit, you know? We're rivaling ancient European cities in terms of, there's some Venetian shit going on down here. Brown water Lamau. It looks fine. I mean, don't swim in river city water, you know? I'm a Boston simp. I've heard Boston's really nice. Sorry, I didn't mean to get distracted with architecture stuff. I just want to make it clear, I'm not opposed to skyscrapers in all cases. I'm just, I just want them to keep the damn graffiti up. And by the way, here you go. Just as an example of the kind of stuff that I'm talking about, Chicago suburbs, many of them are mixed density. Notice how we're barely out from the skyscrapers right here. Notice how these are family homes, 3 stories tall, like row or townhouses. They're beautiful. And with this, you can get vastly greater density than you could with like the standard Los Angeles ranch home. This, I will show you. This is what the average house looks like in Los Angeles. Right here. A single-story Spanish mesa-style house with lanes to either side and a lawn in front. This is the median house in Los Angeles. It also probably costs $5 trillion. These are incredibly not dense. I don't know what the antonym for dense is, but this is what they all look like. Sparse? I don't think that dense actually has a clear and perfect antonym, right? Heavy, light, tall, short, narrow, wide, dense. I don't think sparse is a perfect antonym, but I think it's the closest we have. I've never heard anyone say, like, titanium is a dense element. Yeah. And then helium is a sparse element. I've just heard, like, less dense, right? Yeah. Anyway, you guys are just, like, saying words. When you type those words out, you know for a fact that you're wrong when you say them. Nobody uses light as an antonym to dense. Like, you're just saying shit, okay? Quit wasting my time.